Hey, I'm Kevin from Cherubs. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the gear over here. These are Univox Most Right copies. This is the original guitar that I had 30 years ago. It's got some old pink Lincolns. This is a pink Lincoln sticker. There's a little piece of a pink Lincoln sticker. I think we were all into pink Lincolns because Pinkus was into pink Lincolns back in the day. So we were all into this band. We never even heard them. I don't know what idea to this day what they sound like, but he always wore that shirt and we worshiped them. So we totally into pink Lincolns and we're trying to get these stickers that look like Jeff. So that's basically what happened there. These are old 70s bathroom bathtub stickers, and I got a couple of these stickers back in the day from a truck stop that say I love my car best next to pussy, and there was a cat sitting here you know, with the tail all flapped up and looking sexy. So they're the same thing. Back in the day, I wanted to have some way to turn off all the feedback all at once, so I had this on-off switch put in here. It doesn't really do shit, it just looks cool, really. It doesn't really doesn't help anything, but it's badass. And these are the Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates pickups that Mark Erlewine and Billy Gibbons designed for Seymour Duncan. This is the original back in the day, and then this is a new one that I had put in when I found this thing. These are really hard to find now. They're way more. These were cheap guitars back in the day, but they're really hard to find now. And I've always wanted a black one, and I've always wanted a white one. And but it's nice to have two that are the same. The only problem with this is I will get lost in what we're doing and forget to change guitars for songs. And these guys will give me the eyeball and get on my ass about changing guitars. Some of these songs I've actually learned on both, and it's a pain in the ass when I realize halfway through the song that I'm having to replay it on a different way, because this song, these are in C sharp, but this is standard tuning in C sharp. This is C sharp, kind of like a Keith Richards style C sharp. So it's like C sharp, G, C sharp, C sharp, G. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F, G sharp, C sharp. And this one is C sharp, F sharp, B, E, G sharp, C sharp. That's my handy dandy cheat sheet on there, because now I have a fucking clip-on tuner and it reads this as A flat. Wait, no, the G sharp is A flat. It's so fucking confusing when I'm tuning these guitars and I'm going A flat. It's the same thing as it sucks. Anyway, I gotta figure that out. These are Diodario's. I have used GHS boomers too, and I've used those, what are those blue ones that are oxygen dipped, or they're cryogenic strings. They're so precious. Thing is though, they sound really good, but they're crazy expensive, so I can't use those strings. These are Diodario's. 50 to 11 is what I prefer. I've done a 52 before, and they just kill my fingers. I can't do them. Plus, they don't bend very much, and I like to have it where I think some of our sound is this kind of warble. There's a warble to our sound, and that a lot of that's because I'm, you know, tearing these strings up a little bit. So I've settled on 50 to 11. I need a little bit heavier on the high string, a little bit lighter on the bottom. So back in the day, we used rats. I had one pedal, rat pedal, that was it. We turned the amps all the way up, and then we had the rat pedal. It's a great guitar pedal, and it was really great when Owen was using it, because when he would do chords, it sounded like two guitars and a bass in a way. But the problem with the rat is it doesn't keep the bass frequencies in there, so we needed something else. He moved on. He's using some Earthquaker stuff now. I like Earthquaker stuff too. I haven't really found my baby on some of the stuff. Like I think I probably want a bit commander, and I probably want They have another one that I like. I can't remember what it is now. And I love the Death by Audio. Just a month ago, I had a Death by Audio Apocalypse in here, and it was too much. It was too destructive, and so I had to take it out. So now I put a pitch bay back in. I was using a pitch bay for a while. I don't really use it like it's supposed to be used. I use it as a gain, and I use it to kind of fake another guitar off feeling thing in there, like a slightly off guitar. You know, my root, I have a lot of the root signal still in there. I use a lot of gain, a lot of the root signal, you know, and so what I'm using really is the up. It gives it a little bit of a poggy sound, and it's off. The pitch is off, so it sounds rich because it's not exactly in tune with everything else. This is my primary pedal. This is where I'm getting pretty much all my distortion from. It's a Caroline Wave Cannon. This is kind of for the light touch, and this is for the rock touch. I never take it off of here. I never take it off of these settings right here. It's all just kind of up. The thing I love about this pedal is this turns my volume knob into kind of a theremin. So I can take my volume knob and go through, it just goes to this incredible EQ arc that I can almost play like a theremin. So I do play it like a theremin on the song Nobodies. It's not one of these things where you can repeat what you're doing very well. You have to work with it a while because it's just a fucking monster thing. So what I'll do is I'll get it into a nasty setting and then just get this monstery sound. But then on Nobodies, I have this thing where I actually go down and I get a tune. I have this swing, EQ swing, that I'm keeping in tune with what Owen's doing. It sounds really pretty when I do it right. Luckily, I don't do it right very much, and it sounds weird when I don't. So it's weird, and then all of a sudden it's pretty. So you know, we've always had a lot of that in our stuff so that we can get away with more stuff. The Ditto is just a looper. We have this thing in Cherubs that we call the bees, and it's where we have this like a thing where it's against the sound a little bit, and it's just, and I do that because my hand is always fluttering when I play. And when we record stuff, I go in and I put another track in of the bees. And the bees is where I'm doing that up against some of this other stuff. This allows me to do the bees live. I think it might work better on record than it does live because I'm so noisy live that it's almost like the bees are in the room anyway. So I'm learning how to work with this. I haven't perfected it yet. The tremolo pedal is set for 2 songs that we do, Cumulo Nimbus and Full Regalia. This is the setting for Cumulo Nimbus, and when we were recording Full Regalia, just so happens I used it on accident at the end of a song, and it was the Cumulo setting, but it works perfectly with Full Regalia. So now I just have this like one-stop shop tremolo pedal that I don't have to fuck with. This is the Echo Rec. This is a digital mimic of the Benson Echo Rec that Pink Floyd made famous. You know, you can't take those things on the road. They're actual oil in them, and I want one so bad. And they're just beautiful. They're beautiful objects, and they sound fucking amazing. This thing, I use it to help me turn feedback off gently. I let things waft away, and I let the feedback go off gently. The thing that I don't have here that's up on the amp right now, that's my kind of secret weapon, is all of this shit goes back through a very old Memory Man. And it's where I can turn the feedback all the way up, and it just decays into absolute analog bliss. It's just a nasty fucking sound. I tried a newer old Memory Man, and it it just doesn't do the same thing. It goes in there and it goes yell out, yell out, yell out. Very predictable, not organic, not very analog feeling in the way that it's, or you know, the way it breaks up and feels alive. So now I've got an extra memory man that I don't use because it just doesn't do the thing. My memory man broke one time. I had to bring it in. I thought, oh, this is it. I'm going to take it in. They're going to fix it, and it's going to be fucked up, and I'm never going to be able to use it again because it won't have that organic sound. Luckily, it was only the power part of the memory man. They didn't have to fuck with any of the actual circuitry. You know, I use this thing to make some crazy sounds every now and then. I use this thing to play into the pickup. It sounds, it's got this killer sound where you, as you move it in, and then I'll also run it on the strings a little bit, and that's kind of like a fucked up EBO-ish sound. You know, this is a little bit of a precious item. People see you do this and they kind of want to hate you because it's, you know, but at least it's a stupid Coleman thing and not something that's like very expensive. So I don't do this as much as I used to. It's nice to have, and I just broke it. So we're out of business on that shit anyway. And I should actually have a pedal board. I should actually have a real power source. I should have all of this good shit, and I have a one spot. I know Brad's going to give me some shit about this tonight because he was saying, you know, if I'm really dope, I shouldn't be doing this. I think that's it. Back in the day, my setup was these 412s. This is, I don't know what kind of cabinet this is, but I think it's a Ross, actually. It might be a Ross cabinet. There's Fane speakers in here. I don't know much about the speakers, but those, I know that they're the same speakers that I've had forever. So they're still in there. This is what I played back in the day. It's a 1963 Bassman. I think it was Memphis, though, or something like that, or Louisville, or something like that. Anyway, I got this on the road, and I'm not even sure why. And I don't even know what I was playing before that, but I got this on the road, and I used to play this exclusively, and it was just all 10. I would just take my hand and go, shook, and knock everything to 10. I would probably back off the bass some, but it was all on 10 back in the day. I literally am using this amp for the first time tonight. It's a Music Man 65. The reason I got it is because we used a Music Man 130 with low dose in Philadelphia, and we're touring with them, and I wanted something that I thought might be more robust and last longer. This thing's been a workhorse. It's been great, but I have had to change out the heart of it, and it burned up one day and literally smoked and everything, and it was sad because now it's, you know, it's not an all original Bassman 63, which is what it was. This I just got today. A friend of mine, Brad Featherstone, went and picked it up for me at a pawn shop in town. I bought it off of eBay. It's a Music Man 65, like in the 70s, late 70s thing. It's Leo Fender, who designed this, also designed this later when he was making stuff for Music Man. And you can tell because it's got the same, they're flipped. He's got a normal setting here. This is a normal setting over here. And then he's got the bass setting over here. This has a bass setting over here. So what happened is he's kind of loaded up the bass side. It's got a bright and a deep. And then the normal side has just a bright. I'm running it on the normal. The only thing that's a little bit confusing is the master controls both. The thing I don't know about, since I'm only using it tonight for the first time, is if these are activated on this side too. My guess is that they're not. It's great because it's not all tube preamp, but then solid state components after that. So it should be more. It shouldn't break. I hope it doesn't. This is a Sovtek 50. It's a little bitty MiG 50. It's badass. It sounds gnarly. It's a great little amp. I've used it in the new incarnation. I run all the pedals through through this memory man. It's an old memory man. Then I take the direct signal, run the memory man up to the music man, and then do all of the swirly memory man shit through the Sovtek. This is an old memory man. It fucked up on me one time and I had to go get it fixed, and I was really worried that they were gonna fuck up the original stuff in it. Luckily it was only a power situation. Because I wasn't sure, I got another one. It was supposedly an old one, and it was shitty. It didn't do the same shit that this one does. This one really distorts and fucks up in a majorly cool way. Luckily, and now I got another music man, a memory man that I don't ever use because it's just shitty. And not shitty, it just doesn't do the thing it's supposed to do that I'm used to with this thing.
It's worth noting, since we talked about how the drum set is Kevin's, and the Sovtek is mine.
Yeah. So when did you get the Sovtek?
I got it in 2009 or 10.
Where did you get it?
Off of Craigslist.
Oh, okay.
In Austin.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I drove up to Round Rock or Georgetown.
That's cool.
And got it.
That's
cool.
For
$500.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I run all the memory man shit through here, and then I run the rest of my shit through the memory man direct to here. So it gives this kind of fake stereo feel to it, right? When this starts swirling around, it kind of sends it in ways that you kind of can't tell what the hell's going on. It's a big mudslinging fest, though, and so it's all coming from the same spot. It's just kind of like, it's just fucked up. Hey, so we've got the record out. The new record is called Immaculada High. It just came out. We're gonna be on the road in October. We're playing with Flipper in November in Austin. We'll probably go up into Texas a little bit for some weird stuff just to stay loose. We're trying really hard to go to Europe next year, and we'll trying hard to tour a lot next year on Immaculada High. Man, I really hope y'all like the record. Thanks for showing up and hear me wax on.